The rain hammered against the windows of our small cottage in the Cotswolds, mirroring the storm brewing inside me. For years, I, Barnaby, a 43-year-old sculptor, had believed I lived a charmed life with my wife, Gisel. We met at an art gallery in London, a whirlwind romance that culminated in a quaint wedding and a move to the countryside, seeking tranquility amidst the rolling hills. Gisel, a vibrant and ambitious architect, thrived in the city, but she agreed to the move, promising to commute. I should have seen the cracks then, the subtle shifts in her demeanor, the increasing frequency of late nights at the office. It started subtly. Gisel's phone, once an open book, became a fortress, always face down, vibrating with hushed notifications. Her laughter, once freely shared, became reserved, tinged with a secret amusement I couldn't decipher. I chalked it up to work stress. Architects, especially ambitious ones, lived demanding lives. I brought her flowers, cooked her favorite meals, and tried to bridge the growing gap with affection. But my efforts seemed to bounce off her like rain off a stone. The first real blow came on our 7th anniversary. I had planned a weekend getaway to Bath, a romantic escape filled with candle-lit dinners and spa treatments. Gisel, however, claimed a critical project deadline and begged off, promising to make it up to me. Disappointment gnawed at me, but I understood, or so I thought. That evening, alone in our cottage, I decided to surprise her with a delivery of her favorite chocolates. I called her office to confirm she was still there. The receptionist, a young woman named Phoebe, answered. "Gisel Archer. She left hours ago, Mr. Finch. Said she had a dinner appointment, not a late night at the office." A cold dread washed over me, a premonition of something terrible. I tried calling Gisel, but her phone went straight to voicemail. I left a message, my voice strained, trying to sound casual. "Hey darling, just wanted to say happy anniversary. Hope your dinner goes well." Sleep evaded me that night. I tossed and turned, replaying every interaction with Gisel over the past few months, searching for clues I had missed. The next morning, fueled by anxiety and a growing sense of unease, I decided to drive to London. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I needed to trust my wife. But the seed of doubt had been planted, and it was growing rapidly. Arriving in London, I drove past Gisel's office building. It was a sleek, modern structure in the heart of the financial district. I parked across the street and waited, and waited. Hours crawled by. Just as I was about to give up, I saw her. Gisel emerged from the building, not alone. Her arm was linked with a man I had never seen before. He was tall, handsome, with a confident swagger. They laughed, their faces close, their body language intimate. They walked to a nearby restaurant, a place known for its romantic ambience, the world tilted on its axis. My breath caught in my throat. The image of them together, their easy familiarity, seared itself into my memory. I wanted to rush over there, confront them, demand answers. But I couldn't move. I was paralyzed by shock, by the crushing weight of betrayal. Instead, I did the only thing I could think of. I took a picture. A single damning photograph that would forever alter the course of my life. I drove back to the Cotswolds in a daze, the photograph burning a hole in my pocket. The rain had stopped, but the sky remained a sullen gray, mirroring the emptiness inside me. I couldn't bring myself to confront Gisel immediately. I needed time to process, to gather my thoughts, to figure out what to do. I spent the next few days in a state of numb detachment, going through the motions of my life, sculpting, cooking, cleaning, all while a silent scream echoed in my head. Gisel returned on Sunday evening, full of apologies for missing our anniversary. She showered me with affection, promising to make it up to me, her words hollow and meaningless. I watched her, studying her face, searching for any sign of guilt or remorse. But she was a master of deception, her eyes clear and innocent. I almost believed her. Almost. That night, as she slept beside me, I retrieved the photograph from its hiding place. I stared at it for a long time, at her smiling face, at the man beside her, at the blatant intimacy of their pose. Rage, raw and untamed, surged through me. I wanted to wake her up, scream at her, demand an explanation. But I knew that wouldn't accomplish anything. She would lie, deny, manipulate. I needed proof, irrefutable evidence of her betrayal. The next morning, I feigned normalcy. I made breakfast, chatted about my sculpting, and even managed a weak smile. As Jaisal prepared to leave for London, I casually mentioned that my laptop was acting up and asked if she could have a look at it when she had a moment. She readily agreed, oblivious to the trap I was setting. As soon as she left, I went to my study and installed a keylogger on my laptop. It was a simple program that would record every keystroke, every email, every password. I felt a pang of guilt, a sense of violating her privacy. But the need for truth outweighed any moral qualms. I had to know. I had to understand. The next few days were agonizing. I waited impatiently for Jaisal to use my laptop. Finally, on Wednesday evening, she did. She sat at my desk, her fingers flying across the keyboard, ostensibly fixing my technical issues. Little did she know she was sealing her own fate. That night, after she had gone to bed, I retrieved the keylogger data. My hands trembled as I scrolled through the endless lines of text. And then I saw it. An email. A passionate, explicit email to a man named Alistair, the same man from the photograph. The email was filled with intimate details, declarations of love, and plans for a weekend getaway to Paris. It was all there in black and white, a devastating confirmation of my worst fears. I read the email again and again, each word a knife twisting in my gut. The pain was unbearable, a suffocating weight that threatened to crush me. I wanted to scream, to lash out, to destroy something. But I remained calm, strangely detached. I printed the email along with the photograph and placed them in a sealed envelope. Then I went to bed, my mind racing, my heart aching. The next morning, I waited for Jaisal to come downstairs. She entered the kitchen, her face bright and cheerful, and greeted me with a kiss. I forced myself to return the gesture, the taste of her betrayal bitter on my tongue. "I need to talk to you," I said, my voice flat. She looked at me, her smile faltering slightly. "What is it, Barnaby?" I handed her the envelope. She took it, her brow furrowed in confusion. She opened it and pulled out the photograph and the email. As she read them, her face drained of color. Her eyes widened in horror. She looked up at me, her mouth agape. "Barnaby," she stammered, her voice trembling. "Don't," I said, cutting her off. "Don't insult me with your lies. I know everything." Tears streamed down her face. "It's not what you think," she pleaded. "Oh, really?" "Because it looks exactly like you having an affair with Alistair," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. She launched into a pathetic explanation, a jumbled mess of excuses and justifications. She claimed she was unhappy, that I was neglecting her, that Alistair understood her in a way I didn't. It was all bullshit, a desperate attempt to deflect blame. "I'm leaving," I said, my voice cold and resolute. "Leaving." "Where are you going?" she asked, her voice laced with panic. "I don't know," I said. "But I can't stay here, not with you, not after what you've done." I packed a bag, threw in some clothes, my sculpting tools, and a few personal items. I didn't say goodbye. I simply walked out the door, leaving Jaisal sobbing in the kitchen. I drove away, not knowing where I was going, but knowing that I couldn't stay in that house, in that marriage, for another minute. I ended up in St. Ives, a charming seaside town in Cornwall, known for its vibrant art scene. I rented a small studio apartment overlooking the harbor and threw myself into my work. Sculpting became my therapy, a way to channel my pain and anger into something creative. I spent hours in my studio, shaping clay, carving stone, pouring my heart and soul into my art. I filed for divorce and Jaisal didn't contest it. She knew she was in the wrong. The divorce was finalized quickly and painlessly. I didn't ask for anything, not the house, not the money. I just wanted to be free of her. Months passed. I focused on my art, building a new life for myself in St. Ives. I made friends, explored the coastline, and found solace in the beauty of the natural world. Slowly, gradually, the pain began to subside. The scars remained, but they were fading. One day I received a letter. It was from Jaisal. She wrote that she was sorry, truly sorry, for what she had done. She said that she had made a terrible mistake, that she had ruined the best thing in her life. She asked for my forgiveness. I read the letter, my heart heavy. I didn't know if I could ever forgive her. The betrayal was too deep, the wound too raw, but I knew that I couldn't hold on to the anger and resentment forever. It was poisoning me, preventing me from moving on. I wrote back to Jaisal. I told her that I accepted her apology, but that I couldn't be her friend. I wished her well and asked her not to contact me again. I never heard from Jaisal again. I don't know what happened to her, and I don't want to know. I've moved on with my life. I'm happy, content, and at peace. I've learned that betrayal can be a devastating experience, but it doesn't have to define you. You can survive it, you can heal, and you can find happiness again. It takes time, courage, and a willingness to let go of the past, but it is possible. Now, years later, the rain still falls, but it no longer echoes the storm inside me. The sun shines through the clouds, illuminating the beauty of the world. And I am grateful for the life I have, for the lessons I've learned, and for the strength I've found within myself.